Welcome to TMZ Live. A big break in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case. The FBI is releasing photos and videos of the man who almost unequivocally kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. And it is terrifying, dramatic, and somewhat mysterious.
Right, because these images, it's the first images we have of anyone who potentially is involved in this. And we say potentially, but this person showed up on her doorstep early Sunday morning.
Completely covered, head to toe covered, although you can see certain things that we're going to get to in a minute. But he clearly had planned out, not being in any way identified.
The mask, the full face mask, the heavy-duty rubber gloves, and also a weapon on his waistband. You can see it there at the front of his waistband. There's a revolver or a pistol that is in a holster. So
what's interesting about this video, and let's play it again from the top. So you see him come up toward the door.
With his head down.
With his head down. Obviously, he doesn't want to be seen even though he's covered. Now, look what happens. It seems like he notices the camera. Mm-hmm. Now, watch what he does. He is going to turn around in just a minute. Now, watch this.
He's kind of covering it up. It's almost like he's thinking, what am I going to do
to cover it up?
To cover this camera.
So he walks out into the garden area, and he bends down and lifts up some shrubbery as if he's going to take that shrubbery and put it on the lens of the camera.
And he does actually bring the shrubbery over and puts it in front of the lens. And these are the last images that the FBI has released at this point, and maybe that's all they've retrieved at this point. But we know that at some point shortly thereafter, that camera was disabled.
Now, we're going to tell you why it took a week, because this is a fascinating story about why it did take a week and what they were able to retrieve. But before we do, look at this photo. This is a still where you see what appears to be a mustache and either a goatee or a full beard, because you see hair both above and below the lips. So this is either a goatee or a full beard, a dark beard, a dark mustache, but that's about all you see.
Yeah.
But that's a clue.
That's a lot. Also, we get a full, when the individual walks up, you get a full body shot. You get an idea of what this person's build is like.
He's somewhat stocky.
Yeah.
It's clearly a man. And, most important, it is the person who apparently kidnapped Nancy Guthrie.
And he was clearly there with ill intent. I mean, he showed up, he has this backpack, he has the gun holstered. I was, frankly, a bit surprised by his activity around that camera, and I don't know if you were. If you've come with that level of preparation, you have gloves, you have a mask on, to not have a piece of tape to affix over it, to go grab the shrubbery with no way to affix it to the camera, this seems like he was taken a little bit off guard as to how to deal with that situation. And you're right, though. You learn a lot about his facial features, his build. All of that stuff is clues that will help in this investigation.
I am puzzled by the grabbing the shrubbery because, one of the first things you would know is Ring doorbells, ring cameras.
You would expect that.
You would expect it, and you would expect he would, he was able to disable a lot, which we're going to get into in a minute. So why wouldn't he expect that? Why is he suddenly grasping for shrubbery?
It's so strange because it's a bit of a hybrid. If it's a crime of opportunity, it's impulsive act and you're not prepared at all. This is someone who just grabs a purse when they see it because it's there. And then there are people who plan it all and they have backpacks and they've cased the joint. This seems to be in between because he's a little bit surprised by how to deal with this.
Planned, but not perfectly planned. And that backpack, the FBI believes may have tools that were used in the abduction or to disable things around the house.
Now they're going to go back to their timeline.
We should get into why it took a week.
10 days.
Remember, when this first happened, the FBI said that they couldn't see any video, but they were able to know that somebody was there.
Right. And they said that camera had been disabled.
Right.
But what the FBI Director Kash Patel said, they've been working closely with private sector partners. That would be, in this case, Nest is the host of that camera, and says that they've been trying to recover images and video that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible. The video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems.
So destroying the actual camera itself doesn't destroy the data that has been collected in a cloud. I have these cameras at homes. They're very, very common now. They're set off by motion. The motion probably started recording him. And then regardless of whether he's covering or destroys the camera, that exists in a cloud, and you can get data people to scrape that.
What's confusing to me is they knew that day one, and it seemed like what they were able to initially retrieve, presumably from the cloud, did not show actual video, but they were able to somehow get this.
So they made a reference during the news conference where they laid out the timeline and said that Nancy didn't have a subscription where you get to save all that video and you can easily access it at home. Just because she couldn't see it at home doesn't mean that Nest doesn't have it.
Right.
And that's what they must have done. They went wherever the Nest servers are and accessed this information.
So Savannah Guthrie has posted some of these images herself, along with a plea, believing that her mother is still alive.
Yes, saying we believe she is still alive. Bring her home. And then she lists the FBI number, 1-800-CALL-FBI, or the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
Now, the one thing we don't know is how long has the FBI had this video? And
I don't think they've had it very long.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I suspect that you heard him describe how difficult it was to get it, what the process they had to go through. They, as far as we know publicly, don't have a lot of clues. And this is a huge one. For the first time now, instead of the public throwing out theories and speculation, there's an image for everyone in the Tucson area and beyond to look at and say, do I recognize anything about this person's gait, about their clothing, about the backpack, the mustache, all of it?
I think soliciting the help of the public is the right call.
But the only reason I'm saying maybe, I don't know.
Right.
You have a 700-mile radius to cover.
What I'm thinking is there is something still about this ransom note. And if the ransom note is legitimate, that maybe their initial path was, let's get her home by complying with the ransom note. Now, we have checked the Bitcoin address every 5 minutes, and so far, no deposits.
No transaction,
So the $6 million that the kidnapper demanded has not been deposited. So I don't know whether at the point of reaching that dead end, they decided, okay, now we'll release this picture, or maybe they just got it. I mean, it just seems odd to me that it would take 10 days to retrieve this, that they may have had it before and they were working on leads. I don't know. It just seems odd to me why that's not something that should take 10 days if somebody's life is on the line like this.
Yeah, and that's why I think they did just get it, because her life is on the line. If they had anything to help get other clues to throw out to the public so that people would phone in with with tips, I think they would have done that. And you heard that yesterday when Savannah said, we are in desperate hours, right? So
asking for any help from the public.
And they wanted any help from the public. So that's why I got to believe the FBI just got these images.
And wouldn't sit on it.
I just want to say one other thing. And again, I'm just saying this. We received the first ransom note, and it is so well thought out, planned. It is articulate. It is just methodical in the way it's written. And then you look at these images, and you see him kind of bumble around looking for leaves. It doesn't align with the ransom
Those
note.
don't have to be the two same parties. This could be a conspiracy of people and the person
It
executing
doesn't feel like
it doesn't.
aligns.
You're right. It looks haphazard here. This
looks haphazard, and the note is very intentional. Yes.
I agree with you that it's haphazard and they seem unprepared, but they also came with a gun, with gloves, a mask, the backpack filled with whatever. There are elements of this that were very clearly planned out, but you're right. You're right.
Not everything.
This is, they always say that criminals make a mistake, and all they need to do is make one mistake, and that may have been it. That they, for some reason, didn't realize there was going to be a camera right there when they walked up to the door.
Which is just odd.
It's really,
But
really
I just
odd.
want to say one other thing. That, again, by sending these two notes to
the media,
particularly Tucson stations, that I have a feeling they're looking in the Tucson area for somebody who at least was there that meets a description like this, because they seemed, at least if the ransom note is tied to the kidnapper that we're looking at right there, then it seems like it would be in the Tucson television market.
I'm Emily from Cleveland, Ohio, And I honestly think this whole situation has been confusing, especially the more time that goes on. I feel like part of it feels like they knew what they were doing, and part of it feels like they came in totally just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you thought it out, but you didn't think it out at the same time.
Yeah, you said
Right,
it perfectly.
right,
I mean,
exactly.
you said it perfectly. That I'm so puzzled by what you just said. You're right that it's so well planned and so not well planned. And how do you reconcile?
How do you
that?
reconcile those things? By the way, just stay tuned. I have a feeling there are going to be more images
Yes.
coming out today, that the FBI is continuing to pull more data out of cameras and whatever else was at Nancy's home, and you're going to get more information as this, hour by hour. Today.
Well, and one of the things you want to know is, what was this person driving?
Right.
And are they tracking that, which I'm sure they are, that if they've got this video, is there any video showing any vehicle around that area?
Around this time. Now they know what time this person walked up to the door. So there's going to be a lot more coming out.
Coming up.
There is some big movement in the Epstein files investigation at this point, because we have congressmen on the floor naming names of people that they feel are likely incriminated.
But there's something else with Donald Trump.
Be right back.
There is some big movement in the Epstein files investigation at this point, because we have congressmen on the floor naming names of people that they feel are likely incriminated, but their names were redacted in the files that were released. The congressmen have seen it, the unredacted version.
They are saying there are six
Saying there's
people.
the cover-up.
6 people who should have been front and center because, as Charles said, they are likely incriminated. This is according to Congressman Ro Khanna.
Right.
But they were somehow redacted, and all the worse because some of the women who were supposed to be protected, some of the survivors,
Their names did come out.
and some revealing photographs came out as well.
Right.
So there is a lot of anger over this. But there's something else with Donald Trump.
Right, related to Donald Trump, and a conversation that he had with the Palm Beach police chief back in 2006 about Jeffrey Epstein. This was after Epstein was arrested, and Trump, according to an FBI interview that the police chief, Michael Ryder, gave, he said that Donald Trump called him in 2006 and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." That's what Trump said, according to the police chief, in 2006 during this phone call. What's interesting is that later in 2019, that President Trump said he had no idea any of this was going on.
No idea. He said he just fired him because he was taking people away from his spa at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, and in addition to what he said about Epstein, he said that Ghislaine Maxwell, he said he knew her, said she's pure evil. So he had firm opinions about both Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but in 2009, he said, I had no idea.
2019. Yeah.
Said, I had no idea.
So
So who's right?
the White House has not addressed this yet. They haven't reconciled it. I'm sure they're going to say something. But so far, as of the time we're doing this, we haven't heard anything.
Have not heard from them, but it is interesting. And obviously, again, we're only in the files. What came out was the FBI interview with the then Palm Beach police chief. We haven't heard directly from the police chief yet, but this information came out in the files. So I'm sure, as you said, the White House will have their version of what that conversation actually was.
Right.
Hi, my name is Shivasha, and I'm from Houston, Texas. And I think the Epstein files highlight why the public has lost trust in the justice system. People expect clarity, and instead, this is just another situation where powerful figures avoid real accountability, leaving more questions than answers. I mean, saying no crimes on camera, but what about off camera? It's giving technically true.
Well,
Yeah,
it has not done much to restore faith in the justice system.
I will say what is encouraging is that there are members of Congress who aren't backing down, right? They're not just taking, here's the DOJ says, here are the files, and they're not just accepting the files as they've come out. They're pushing for more information and in some cases getting it.
Some Congress people are doing
Some
that, but
Congress people, yes.
but I get your point. I mean, the fact that we've released it. No, we haven't released it. There's more. No, there's actually millions more, and now there are millions more than that. At a point, it feels like a shell game.
Well, there is a winner, a big winner in Jake Paul's household, and it is not Jake Paul. His fiancee not only won Olympic gold, but Jutta Leerdam, the superstar speed skater, set an Olympic record.
A redder.
A redder.
It's all redder.
A redder. It's all these Dutch names. She set a record last night.
And her fiance dissolved into tears. Tears.
Yeah.
Jake was, beyond watching this happen. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. It was a fun race to watch. Early on, the first lap she was behind,
God,
but you kind of knew.
Look at Jake, this tough guy.
Snapchat filter, where they morph your face using editing. That's
Look
how
at
much
Jake.
he is into this. But it was actually the whole family too. Logan was
His
not
jaw looks
there.
good, by the way.
Yeah, he's getting better.
Yeah,
he was at the
he's
national
healing.
championship
God,
game. He was able to talk a bit.
Look at him.
Yeah, he's
That's
coming
really
back,
quite amazing.
but you know what's next for them, right?
What?
Children.
Mary.
Babies.
Children, yeah.
And they wanted to wait until after she was done with her Olympic career. We'll see what she wants
Is
to do
this it
within
for
the
her?
4 years. She might be able to come back.
She's still
she's
young,
got time.
right?
But wait a minute, they're
She
not,
could do another
they're
baby.
not married yet. They're engaged,
No,
right?
they're engaged.
Why are you assuming it's a baby before they get married?
He
talked
has
about
talked
that.
so many times he can't wait to have kids.
How long does it take to get married?
The timeline might be.
I mean, it's weird
They
to me.
can have a kid and she can still be in the next Olympics. Yeah. It's only 27.
Oh, yeah, she's 27.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
I mean, look at Lindsay. Oh, no.
No, don't look at Lindsey Vonn. Do not look at Lindsey Vonn.
There's one here from Orlando, Florida. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know that she was, that she was like, his fiance like that, but it's crazy. I give it to him. I'm very proud for her. She's amazing. Athlete he is too. But I wonder whenever they have babies, are they going to be Puerto Rican babies?
By
the way-
does he still live in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
By the way, I have trouble focusing on just one thing at a time. And so there's a TV, and I'm looking at the Olympics to my right a little bit. You know what I realized? They're doing ice skating right now.
Right.
Do you know who the Olympics benefits most? Which industry?
Advertising?
The sequin industry. It's true. You look at it's everywhere when you look at ice skating. It's everywhere. It's the sequin industry.
Don't take the bait.
No.
Do not take the bait.
Have you heard?
Do not take the bait.
Have you heard about the cheating scandal that is rocking the Olympics right now?
Oh, yes, with
Which?
the stitching in the ski jumps.
No.
Oh.
No.
Something else?
Yes. There's a biathlete who won bronze, and after he was being interviewed, he goes, "Look, this is great and everything, but there's someone who I hope is watching, but she's probably not. I met the love of my life 6 months ago. A few weeks ago, I cheated on her."
What?
Yes.
6 months ago, I met the love of my life, the most beautiful and kindest person in the world. 3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life and was unfaithful. And I told her about it a week ago. This has been the worst week of my life.
She's like, hey, have a great Olympics. I'll be watching. We're going to be
This
cheering
is
you on. Yeah, before I go.
Oh my God! Why'd you? You should have
Norway.
told us this hours ago.
I mean, no offense to Jake and Uta, but we
really?
would have led with this guy.
Seriously.
Coming up.
It has become a new sport, sort of in hip-hop, in comedy. People piling on Nicki Minaj ever since she very publicly
Jumped on the Trump train.
And Mike Epps is the latest to take a shot at Nicki. By the way, yes, he is now apologizing for this.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. It has become a new sport, sort of in hip-hop, in comedy. People piling on Nicki Minaj ever since she very publicly
jumped on the Trump train.
Jumped on the Trump train and
that's hard to say.
Jumped on the Trump train, full MAGA. And Mike Epps is the latest in the comedy world to take a shot at Nicki. This is what he said at a recent stand-up gig. And by the way, yes, he is now apologizing for this.
Nicki Minaj out there getting a train ran on her by Donald Trump now.
Help me out on that.
He said she was getting a train run on her by Donald Trump.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Not pleasant at all. And I think while a lot of people don't understand Nicki's sudden, publicly at least, espousal of Donald Trump, hey, it's her right. It's America, and if that's who she wants to support, and I think...
How did he apologize?
That's why Mike is apologizing for at least the tone of his shot at Nicki. Here's his apology.
Y'all know I'm Mr. Accountability. You know, I say stuff and do stuff, and then I go to bed, wake up the next morning, and, you know, being prayed on and thought about it. Just want to apologize to you, Nicki Minaj, for saying the stuff that I said. Want to apologize to your husband, your kids, all of that for saying what I said. You know, I'm a comedian. Sometimes I get on that stage, you know, I have a little drink, and I go wild. You know what I mean? I'm non-filtered, so just want to apologize to you. Not explaining myself, but I am Mr. Accountability. I love apologizing, something a lot of people don't know how to do.
So I think there's a split in the comedian community because there are a lot of comedians who say, do not apologize for the jokes you tell.
Right.
There are people who say, these are jokes, you got to own it, and when you start walking it back, it takes the comedy away. So I'm not saying one way or the other because I'm not a comedian, but there are some who say, don't apologize.
Well, this comes on the heels, you know, we had at the Grammys, Trevor Noah made not that kind of joke, but made a joke about where Nicki Minaj was with Donald Trump, and he said he would not apologize. He said, listen, I don't understand what she's doing, and I disagree with it, and I can make that joke.
Most people on social media are actually looking at Mike like, you shouldn't have apologized. This is the one joke that I actually wouldn't have apologized for. Like, it's comedy, in the words of Joan Rivers, you never apologize for the joke. So they were just kind of surprised out of all the things that he said in his career, like this was the one that, because mind you, too, he said that, and Nicki didn't even come out and Nicki didn't say anything to him.
Didn't call him a weak-ass hoe. Right. Like
did not get called a weak-ass hoe. Did not get called that. So it's weird that he went above and beyond to just go apologize for something that, at the end of the day, like you said, it's comedy.
What'd you call you again?
The Rasta Man.
The Rasta Man.
Weak-ass hoe and the Rasta Man. No apology. No apologies from Nicki.
There.
Nope, she just owned it.
Hi, my name is Alicia Scott from Chicago, Illinois, and I think Mike Epps said exactly what we're all thinking. Nicki Minaj's abrupt support for Trump came as a surprise for all, and as Mike said, it seems like there's a bigger reason behind it, whether that be to save herself or to save her family from certain things. I don't think that she deserved an apology. I think it was a little absurd, but it was a lighthearted joke due to everything that's going on in the world, and I don't think he needed to apologize for it.
But, you know, I kind of take issue with you that I agree with you, he shouldn't apologize for his jokes, but when you say she deserved it, I think that's where you lose people, that you can disagree with them, even disagree with them wholeheartedly, but, I mean, at a point, you don't necessarily deserve a joke. A joke is a joke.
A joke is a joke, but everyone's all about saying, oh, a joke is a joke, until the joke is about them.
No, I know.
And then suddenly they go like, hey, you crossed the line.
True, it's true, but I'm just saying, it's like to say somebody deserves it because
of their politics.
Yeah, I think that's where we are in a dangerous situation in this country.
Coming up,
Britney Spears just made a fortune. She has struck one of these deals that we've been hearing huge names in music make for a few years now. She has sold her catalog.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Britney Spears just made a fortune. She has struck one of these deals that we've been hearing huge names in music make for a few years now. She has sold her catalog, or at least her rights to her portion of her catalog. Obviously, she has a lot of songwriters and producers she works with who also have rights, but as far as what Britney owns of it, she has now sold it off to a music publisher.
Unsurprising. So when the conservatorship ended, I was actually surprised at this, but her net worth was estimated, and this is rough, but this is what kind of went around $60 million. Since then, she has spent a lot of money, and this is unsurprising that she decided to
move
replenish.
that she would need to make. And we knew that when she wrote the book that was part of the thing, was that she needed money.
Absolutely.
What we were told.
So now the question,
how much?
How much?
Yeah.
We have spoken to people close to her, and they put it in the ballpark of in the same range as Justin Bieber's $200 million sale of his catalog. They say it was a landmark deal, the people that we spoke to.
So, well, a landmark deal in the sense of what? Because Justin's was 200, but I think Springsteen was 6 or 8 or something like that.
800 million?
Yeah, it was
500 million.
Much higher.
Yeah.
But this is real money to her that she needs because she's not performing, she's not recording, and even if she was recording, it's not where money is.
Yeah.
And she's really not making anything. So this is necessary.
Necessary, and think about it, in one fell swoop, she has probably somewhere in the range of tripled her net worth.
Yep.
With making this deal at a time when she's not doing anything else. So.
And what's interesting is we had kind of, over the last couple of weeks, been hearing things that, she was getting all these offers, the companies were approaching her, wanting to buy the catalog, but she actually signed these documents at the end of December 30th, right after Christmas.
Oh, really?
She signed the paperwork,
so she's been sitting on this money.
Yeah.
Huh.
So why are people, because it used to be people would sell their catalogs toward the end of their life. Why is this happening so much with younger people? Why? Is it just, look, she's in her 40s, Justin's in his 30s. I know that they needed money, but there are others who, it just seems like more and more people are selling catalogs right now.
And not to disappoint her fans, but do you think this is also, we know what we know about Britney that we've reported on over the years, but do you think this is a clear indication that she will definitely not perform again?
No.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No, it doesn't preclude her from performing again and performing new songs that either she writes or someone else writes.
Yeah.
But what about, she's going on tour with her son. She's going on tour with her son.
But she has said she's not going to perform in this country again. She's not getting on stage here again.
Which is odd, right? She's going to go to Europe and perform with him.
And she, by the way, she can still perform, just so everyone knows. This doesn't mean she can't perform those songs. Just because she sold the publishing rights to it, she can, if she does get on stage anywhere, she can still perform the songs.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. But why? But you're right. Why are younger artists doing it?
Hi, I'm T from Long Island.
Hi, T.
Hi, T.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, hi, T. That's an English thing.
It's high tea. Welcome to
T
high
from
tea
Long Island. I think that as long as we watched, Britney be under this conservatorship for such a long time, as long as this is what she wants to do, and as long as she's securing a future for herself, I say go for it. It sounds like she made a lot of money. That's going to be really useful for her, especially if she's not going to be performing anymore. Because what? So no, I think as long as it's her choice and she has an idea of what she wants to do, it's good for her.
Yeah, no, she needs this money, and good on her.
Well, one thing you can always count on, if you are feeling low and you're down and you're an entertainer,
somebody's going to kick you while you're down there.
And that someone is 50 Cent. He is always at the ready, and Stefon Diggs is the one who is getting the boot from 50 this time. On the heels of the Patriots getting blown out in the Super Bowl, Stefon Diggs did not have a good game, and 50 Cent just had to remind him how bad it is. He said, can you imagine waking up this morning and you done lost this bitch and the Super Bowl? I would tell everybody, get away from me, have a drink, and go back to sleep.
Oh, my God.
LOL.
So, as you know,
I love when he puts the LOL in the end, like, it's not, I'm just joking around.
It appears that Cardi has unfollowed Stefan.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And he's unfollowed her.
And when she was asked at the Super Bowl about him, it was just good luck. And that was it.
And not in a very warm way.
And there's all these reports, too, that she was a part of the halftime show with Bad Bunny. She was in the little casita. But there's reports that she left right after that and didn't even watch. Like, if that was your man playing in the game, you would finish watching that person and cheering them on. But she was nowhere to be seen.
So the thing is that one of Stefan's baby mamas was in a very good seat, wondering who got her that seat.
Yeah, there's speculation that Cardi was upset that she was there.
More speculation and better speculation would be somebody from the Seahawks got her that seat.
That would be absolutely nefarious, and I don't think that the Seahawks would ever do that, ever. They would never do that just to win a Super Bowl.
That would be amazing. That's something, that was the Donald Trump, Bill Clinton move during the debates.
What?
Remember when he brought women during the debate?
Yes,
kind of the same thing.
Hey, I'm Messy Doll. I'm outside of Atlanta. I honestly think that, 50 Cent, he's a hilarious troll. We know that. And I also think that Cardi B and Stefan, they are still together. This is just promo for her Little Miss Drama tour, and I love that.
Cardi means business. She
does go back.
She may go back, but she's never leaving the Super Bowl before it's over when he's there. That's a sign.
Coming up.
All right, so what you're about to see is either a great thing for hip hop, or it shows hip hop is just getting really, really lame. A long-standing feud between Ja Rule and a guy named Tony Yayo exploded this week on a plane.
Be right back.
All right, so what you're about to see is either a great thing for hip hop, or it shows hip hop is just getting really, really lame. A long-standing feud between Ja Rule and a guy named Tony Yayo.
I believe decades long.
Absolutely, decades long. It exploded this week on a plane because they were both on a Delta flight from the Bay back to New York.
Well, hold on. Only one of them got back to New York on that plane.
On that particular plane, because somehow these two men who have been at each other's throats for decades ended up sitting right next to each other in business class or first class. How that just happens to happen is crazy.
Fantastic.
And it turned into the fight you would expect it to, but with pillows.
Suck ass Ja Rule on the plane. Trying to suck ass up.
Federal regulations prohibit the use of cellular networks during flight, the use of Wi-Fi.
So a couple
of grown-ass men,
a couple of
barking
things.
at each other
and throwing pillows. And Ja Rule gets booted off the plane. He's escorted off the plane.
Delta rebooked him on a different flight. He did eventually get back to New York, but
these guys, they've been beefing for a quarter of a century at this point. They hate each other. But back in the day, remember, it was, scary. These were scary beefs. You were worried about drive-by shootings. Now it's fly-by pillowings.
Right. It's so funny. Which I guess you could say is an improvement.
Yes. Everybody walked away, so that's good.
Street cred, throwing pillows ain't going to get you there.
But one other observation. Delta One looks really nice.
You have no idea what's past first class.
Nice.
So as we said, by the way, we reached out to 50, Ja Rule this
50
morning.
will say something.
50 actually did say something, which we won't get into because his troll went over a line. But we asked Ja Rule about it, and this is what he posted. I popped on these punks by myself on a plane. I threw the pillow at Yayo head because you soft. Knocked your hat off. Knocked your hat off?
Knocked your hat off.
That's
being a pillow. An airline pillow, even.
Your hat off. That's the beef?
Oh, my God.
I mean, sororities could do better.
Ja Rule's right, though. It's hilarious.
Hey, my name is Asada. I'm from New Jersey, and I just want to know when celebrity beef is supposed to stop. You guys are basically 50 years old and you're literally having a pillow fight on a plane. Like, you're about to get yourself put on the no-fly list for what?
But isn't
I
it
don't know.
awesome?
I guess
Come
celebrities
on.
don't care about that type of stuff, though.
It's like a pajama party in Greece, man. There's a pillow fight. What are they doing?
So TMZ DC ran into Elizabeth Warren the other day, and with emphasis on the word ran, because Elizabeth Warren is the fastest walker in Washington, D.C.
She's not just a senator, she's a sprinter.
She is a power walker, and she loves it. And we decided, yeah, we could talk Trump. Yeah, we could talk ICE. Yeah, we could talk all that stuff. But we talked walking.
I hear you're one of the fittest senators. Is that true?
Whoa, you know, I got to say, kind of a low bar around here. And I walk faster than any of these senators. We're in between. I'm headed off to do a speech right now.
Oh, you're giving a speech?
In fact,
sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've done so many steps around here. What are you at?
You know, I don't even have to keep the numbers. I just know that I am forcing everybody around me to get out of the way.
You don't ever wear high heels or anything like that?
I'm on the move, you know, and I get it. There are people who wear those heels and very fashionable, but for me, I want to be in fighting shape, and I want to be in a position where I can move fast.
I like that.
If you don't quit,
I know, I'm sorry. I'm slow.
We just got work to do.
What I love is she doesn't take the tram. She can go as fast
I know, you
as
see the trams going by, and she's like,
she just loves doing it. She loves.
And by the way, Charlie is probably what, 30 years younger than Senator
and
Warren?
Is just panting.
And he cannot keep up with her. He's slowing her down constantly.
Panting.
Yeah. I admire that. I like a good fast walker.
Coming up.
The TMZ After Dark tour keeps rolling along with huge stars.
Venus and Natalie, the breakout stars of the new season 12 of Vanderpump Rules.
Right.
And they bring back the OG Vanderpump vibe, which is just partying, young, hot, making out. We had all of those on the bus.
Be right back.
The TMZ After Dark tour keeps rolling along with huge stars. And this one that we're going to talk about, one of the biggest reality shows now on television, We Had the Stars.
The reboot.
Venus and Natalie, the breakout stars of the new season 12, and they bring back the old
Vanderpump Rules.
Of Vanderpump Rules.
Right.
And they bring back the OG Vanderpump vibe, which is just partying, young, hot, making out. We had all of those on the bus.
And we stopped everywhere. I mean, people were getting snacks, they were getting shots, and this is all gratis.
Included,
yeah.
Yes, included
in the price of admission.
We stopped at the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Which
they
is
gave
what?
us
Can I just stop you? Rainbow Bar and Grill is one of the great places in Hollywood.
so much history there.
Absolutely
It's amazing.
We also went to their stomping grounds,
where
right?
they work.
Yeah, so
Where they were.
that was the best part. The grand finale was at Sir, and the manager, Guillermo, was waiting for us and let us in, and they went behind the bar where they actually worked. So they went back to their jobs and served us these delicious pink shots, and the entire cast was there. So if you were on this bus, you felt like you were on an episode of the new season. It was amazing.
I'm sorry.
Best night ever.
I just gotta say, that if you want to have a good time in Hollywood, I don't think. Look, I know we have a dog in the fight and everything else, but I think the TMZ After Dark tour is the best party in town. I just absolutely, positively believe that.
And
even without the dog in the fight.
And I love surprising you guys, so I'm not going to say who's next week for After Dark, but it's something like Vanderpump, where it's a reality show and it's going to be good.
I can't wait.
Valentine's weekend.
Okay.
Get your tickets.
What else you guys want to talk about?
Hi, I'm Alex Daly out in Whitesboro, Texas, and yeah, I'm just grateful for all of the ring footage because who knows if there's more in the area. That's why details like this are coming out, and I know sometimes, days, even weeks later, new ring footage comes out, gives you greater details, and so hopefully it leads to a capture of this guy and she makes it home safe.
Yeah, and remember, I mean, one of the reasons Luigi Mangione got caught was his eyebrows. And so even something as simple as that mustache could lead to something. One more.
Hey, my name is Jose Guzman from Riverside, California, and I think it's amazing that Jake Paul's fiance got to win the gold medal. Congratulations to her. She deserves it. She's amazing. And you know what? At the end of the day, we got two champions. I think it's Jake Paul and now the wife.
I think Uta might say there's one champion. I don't know if you caught Jake Paul's last fight. There was nothing champion about it when your jaw is broken in however many places. But you know what? This is a positive sign for them. And she her winning the gold medal, now they can plan their wedding. It's great. Good for them.
John Charles Aguilar from Los Angeles, California. And I'm going to speak on the Ms. Guthrie incident. This is absolute terror. He's wearing gloves and he's wearing a face mask. What's in that backpack? There's nothing that we know about what is going on. Nobody knows who this person is. There's no other ring cameras or other recording devices, you know, in the area where he fled, or was there a car involved? And we don't know if it's just one person or multiple people. This is just very, very sad for the family.
Yeah, I mean, John Charles, you raised a good point. Are there more images? By the way, Harvey had to step away for a second. Yeah, are there more images? I mean, look, FBI Director Kash Patel has said that they had to go to Nest and they had to go through a whole technical process to get this data. Who's to say that there isn't more? The big thing is, did that camera, was it able to capture anything when they were leaving, or any other camera on her property? And I'm sure that's something the FBI is looking into right now. So everyone is hoping that there is going to be enough information here that somebody out there, as you said, does anybody know who this guy is? That's what the FBI wants to know. That's what Pima County Sheriff's Department wants to know, and certainly what Savannah Guthrie and her family want to know.
Coming up.
So the Kardashian sisters doing all sorts of hijinks on social media, nothing new, but there's a new wrinkle now under the Kar-Jenner household. This is Khloe and her sisters trying to do something called the Titanic TikTok challenge, and there's someone there coaching them, urging them on. Listen for his voice.
Be right back.
So the Kardashian sisters doing all sorts of hijinks on social media, nothing new, but there's a new wrinkle now under the Kar-Jenner household.
You're calling him a wrinkle?
He's not that old, but Lewis Hamilton, who very clearly, he and Kim are now out as a couple after canoodling and making out at the Super Bowl.
Were they making out?
There was not making out. There was a kiss. There was a kiss while they were in the booth in the luxury.
So we don't know how long they've been dating, but it's been a couple of months.
A while, because now
yeah,
you're gonna see this is Khloe and her sisters trying to do something called the Titanic TikTok challenge, and there's someone there coaching them, urging them on. Listen for his voice.
We're trying some tricks tonight.
Shelby, you try it. Ready, steady, go. We got this.
Roll into it. Go!
Not even close. What's happening there? Oh, close.
Push off.
What do you mean, what's happening there? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, that's his voice. That's him. That's Lewis. Do you know what's interesting? He double dated when Kim was with Kanye. They double dated together.
When he was dating Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Right.
Huh.
So this is
a town of 20 people, and everybody just circulates. That's the way it works. We'll see you tomorrow.